Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Sigvald here and welcome back to another video. So in this one we're going to talk about future Dark Metal characters that we might get in Just 2 Mobile. We already have a Dark Metal team, but it only has 2 members, and as we know we are at the very least going to get at least one more, if not all of them. So in this one we're going to explore the possibilities, because the Dark Metal characters are going to be Batmans from alternate universes where stuff didn't go too well, that were brought as a team by Batman Who Laughs. And there's quite a few of them, and we're going to go over each one of them, a little bit of their lore and a little bit of their abilities and how that might get transferred into Just Mobile. Also keep in mind, I'm not a lore expert, I'm just going to make this as understandable as possible for everyone. So over here we had the Red Death, and boy oh boy, would Batman combined with Flash be dangerous. So the lore of this is that basically Batman in this universe got his whole team killed, like his whole Robin team killed, Batman, all that stuff, everybody died, and he was mad because he was simply not fast enough to help them and stop crime, and he was like, okay then, let's steal Flash's powers, and that's exactly what he did. And he's far stronger than Flash, because Batman is smart, right? That's his whole gimmick. And Flash and the Flash powers allows the user of them to think faster than normal, because you gotta think fast in order to be able to move fast, because if you couldn't think fast and react faster, then you would just bump into things basically. So you have a Batman that is as smart as a Batman is and also can think very fast. And if that was not dangerous enough, by the way, he has all the Flash powers like metahuman abilities, increased strength, increased speed, increased endurance. He is also able to generate some lightning constructs that shoot out bat-shaped lasers that are going to rapidly age enemies to the point where they literally die. So not 100% sure how this would get transferred into the Just 2 Mobile team. Maybe when the Dark Metal meter fills, the Crisis Energy meter fills, then you'll get a Speed Force effect that will at the same time boost the capacities of your Dark Metal characters, maybe giving them additional fast attack chance and additional fast attack hits, and at the same time hinder the enemies, maybe make them move slower, maybe reduce all their stats because of the aging effect. So yeah, this would be a very interesting stuff to see, because lore-wisely this seems like one of the most overpowered ones. Then we have Murder Machines. So technically this is not really Batman, it's Batman's body, but it's not really Batman doing the thinking. So the lore goes this way. Alfred dies. Batman is like, oh no, so sad Alfred died. Cyborg, can you help me do an AI that can do what Alfred did before, like bring him tea and stuff? And Cyborg's like, okay, let's do it. And they do that, and it's basically Skynet 2.0, where Alfred starts spreading like a virus, takes control of all computers, all the stuff, and takes control eventually of Batman and his body, makes him into an enhanced version of Cyborg. So what this can do, other than all the stuff Cyborg can do, he can duplicate himself in multiple drone bodies. He's basically assimilating technology into himself and making himself stronger, and he can also transform himself basically how Transformers do. Maybe he can also transform himself into a big truck like Optimus Prime does, but this is also very powerful in theory. As far as how those abilities would get transferred into the game, maybe as he kills tech characters, though this will be more in Champions Arena oriented, but as he kills tech characters, he absorbs their stats and stuff like that. Maybe he gets some abilities where multiple versions of him appear. Maybe after he dies, he gets reborn stronger, like a few times, because those are drone bodies. I really don't know how I would personally make this work into the game, but definitely looks like a very strong character too, and very interesting. Okay, so here we have Doomsday Batman. So basically in this universe, Superman went crazy. Oh boy, has that ever happened before? And Batman was first of all unable to stop him through conventional means, like using the kryptonite spear and all that stuff. And when that failed, he decided it would be a great idea to inject himself with a Doomsday virus. And by injecting himself with a Doomsday virus, he basically became sort of a Doomsday type thing. But it's more like a Hulk thing where he can willingly transform himself into Doomsday version of himself, and the more he stays in that form, the more sanity he's going to lose, eventually becoming a mindless beast, and that kind of resets when he transforms back into human. Also, the targets that he kills are infected with the Doomsday virus, and they get transformed into a copy of Doomsday or something similar to himself. So maybe get this dude to transform into Doomsday as soon as the crisis meter bar fills up, and then make him do more and more damage as the fight goes on. And we could maybe make this guy generate crisis energy while he's in his crisis form, so that he can endlessly stay in crisis form. But since we have that degrading intelligence, maybe make his way to generate crisis energy get lower and lower, so that is not really infinite, but you can prolong it, but prolonging it becomes harder and harder, and make sure that he's very, very buffed up while he's in this form. This one is pretty interesting as well. Doesn't seem honestly that powerful as the other ones, though maybe I'm underestimating the brute force of Doomsday. But yeah, if it's Doomsday level, it's at the very least as strong as Superman. Okay, so here we have what might be the most overpowered version we've seen so far. So in this universe, Ares went berserk and was trying to kill everybody, and Batman and Diane, Wonder Woman, fought him for like 2 years. They fell in love during that time. Then in the final battle, like they knocked off Ares's helmet. Diane kind of died, but didn't really. But Bruce thought she died, so he put on the helmet of Ares. He killed Ares, then Wonder Woman tried to stop him and take his helmet off. He killed her too, and then he proceeded to kill everybody in the solar system, including the gods. And as far as his power goes, he's got all the powers of Ares, and if I didn't understand it wrong, all the powers of the Olympian gods. And at the same time has the ability to summon on command every single weapon in the Pantheon or something like that, but every single weapon that any god used at any point. Like the thing that you see him having in his hand is the God Killer sword, and he can summon that on command as well. And yeah, killing everybody in the solar system seems to be so far the biggest accomplishment we have seen on the list. Like the drowned Batwoman, if you think about it, actually, even though she's a very cool character, seemed kind of the weakest out of all of these. So yeah, as far as this goes, maybe he has different stances, because we saw something attempted in that regard with Hush, even though Hush was a garbage character. But with his special 2, Hush was able to swap between offensive stance and defensive stance. Maybe we can get with Ares a certain amount of buffs with his special 1 or special 2, where he cycles between different weapons that he wields. Let's say a sword, a shield, and a helmet. The sword and the helmet increasing his damage in different ways. Maybe basic attack hit damage from the sword and special damage from the helmet, and resistances and armor and defense from the shield, and they just swap in like a circular fashion as soon as you press the special 2. And then when he enters final form, he has the ability to use all of them at the same time. Yeah, would be interesting to see this, definitely. And last but not least, we have the Dawnbringer. Dawnbreaker, excuse me. So basically this is a Batman that after his parents died, he was taken by a Green Lantern and given a ring. And this Batman was messed up in the head because he tried to kill a Green Lantern, but the ring was like, nah bro, we can't do that, we can't harm innocent people. And then there comes the cringe part. The lore says that he filled the ring with the void. It's so, oh boy, so cringe. But yeah, he basically molded the ring to the point where he can make the ring do anything he wants, because there are some certain limitations on Green Lantern rings. You generally can't use them to do bad things. Then he went ahead and tried to revive his parents, and that didn't go well, because he revived them as undead and only for a certain short amount of time. And then he powered himself with a Green Lantern battery, killed all the Green Lantern Corps, and yeah, that's about the lore. So basically this is no breaks Green Lantern, no limitation Green Lantern that can revive dead people and can summon dead-like structures. So Yeah, quite agey if you ask me. But yeah, a lot out of the way. And as far as his abilities might transition in the game, I did really like the Green Lantern, Emerald Green Lantern buffs that he gives on tagging. I think that's quite an interesting way of doing the tagging Green Lantern buffs, but it would be great if we would have a better version of that, because the Emerald Green Lantern buffs or the Atrocitus buffs are overall not that great. So maybe give some crit damage that can bypass the crit damage cap, or increase the fast tech hits of a character on tagging, or steal a significant chunk of power. That's the only good thing that Atrocitus does with his passive. And so while he's in the Crisis Energy, again, have all the tagging buffs be permanent during the duration of the Crisis Energy, and all of them apply at the same time. But yeah, that was for this video. Let me know in the comments which character you would like to see the most in Injustice Mobile. I would like to see all of them, not gonna lie. And can't wait to see the combinations, because they definitely seem to be going with a way that's everything. At the very least, Batman Who Laughs doesn't do that, but even though we might not get a reward for Batman Who Laughs, I would like to see that each one of them is going to influence the Crisis energy, because Batman Drowned is going to put them underwater, which is not that great, but I do like the idea that they share the Crisis energy bar, and they would all of them buff it in a different way for all the Dark Metal characters in the fight, so we can get endless combinations and endless fun out of this team. But yeah, let me know in the comments which one you would like to see most next at Injustice Mobile. Let me know if I was wrong with anything lore-wise. I did my best. And I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye!
This is the future.